All right, back again. Jim and Doug show. Glad to have you. Sorry for the hiatus from me, but I'm back now, ready to go. Quick shout out before we begin. Dan Orlowski, got your email. Thanks for being a loyal listener to us. Definitely look forward to hearing from you guys. If you have any topics you want to bring up, questions for us, make sure you email us, jimandougshow@gmail.com. And you can find us there. You could be a guest on the show even if you want to chime in. So we'll take voicemails, whatever you got. So thanks.
All right,
thanks,
Don.
for
Well,
listening.
listen, Don. Thank you for checking in, and there's going to be more people checking in. Send us your emails. We're looking forward to it. So
Yeah,
welcome
sure.
back. It's 8:14. This is the Jim and Doug show. We're ready to roll here. So let's touch on a topic that obviously was pretty cool over the weekend, the PGA tournament.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I was really captivated by it. As soon as Tiger teed off, I was just all over it. I didn't watch anything else. Couldn't walk away from the couch pretty much. It was just not even just Tiger, but all the big names in the mix. It really made it captivating. You had Koepka, who's been amazing the whole in majors. He's always in the mix pretty much. Tiger, obviously, Adam Scott, Ricky Fowler, Justin Thomas. They were all up near the leaderboard. You had Thomas Peters, who was kind of in an earlier group coming on strong, who's a guy that Ryder Cup fans will know. It was just really captivating, and the rating showed it was like the highest rated PGA Championship in 12 years.
Yeah, it was really awesome. It really was. And we talked about it last week. We said, hey, it looks like one of the big names is going to win it. Like I said, Fowler's still on the edge.
I thought this was his chance. I really did.
Looking for next year for him to make it big finally and big name. And yeah, Tiger Woods. I know you've been on his bandwagon for a while. And
yeah, I never really was a fan of him, but he just makes it fun. He makes it fun.
The place was going crazy over him.
Yeah.
I mean, it was. But you know what that means? I mean, that means he's on the verge. This guy, he's coming close.
Yeah.
And I think if we want to talk about it, first let's talk about Brooks Koepka. The guy really, what a stud! What a solid player, class act, quality guy. Couldn't be happier that he wins it. Couldn't be happier.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That guy is mentally tough, man. That guy is really mentally tough. I mean, the U.S. Open, first off, broke every golfer. So let's talk about that for a second. That was one of the hardest golf tournaments in recent memory because the U.S. Open isn't really the U.S. Open anymore as far as, it being tough, and they brought it back. And he was able to withstand that. And then on Sunday, he's withstanding a patented Sunday charge from Tiger. And not only him, but Adam Scott, his playing partner, playing really well. And he stood in there and made putt after putt, like huge putts. And he's a great ambassador for the game. I really think he's going to be, one of the biggest stars, maybe even ranked number one in the near future.
Yeah, well, he's actually, he's going to win Golfer of the Year. You win 2 majors, you're the best player in the U.S. Sure. And you're right. You brought up these other guys like Adam Scott and this guy Thomas Peters. You're right. He's always in the mix. He's like a perennial top 10 guy. And,
and no one talks about him. He's a guy in the Ryder Cup that's always, on the move, making big shots, and you'll see him in September for sure.
Well, let's talk about the Ryder Cup because that's coming up and that's awesome. Good captain Jim Furyk, major winner, right?
Yeah.
Pretty good ambassador for the PGA, solid guy, no controversies, no nothing.
Yeah. And
he's going to pick Tiger for the team. You know that, right?
Well, yeah, and he deserves it. He's playing one of the best of anybody out there. He in majors, I think he has the lowest score to par out of anybody. I think it's.
I know. I just wonder. Like I said, he's had a great run in the past year and so forth, and he's played well in the majors. And yeah, I think he'll shine in the Ryder Cup. I'm just not sure. Somebody's going to get bumped for that, and. But I think you got to put it out on the table if he gives you your best chance to win. And Furyk's a quality guy, and he'll make that decision. But I think he's probably leaning toward that.
Oh yeah, he's gonna pick Tiger. And honestly, if you go by strictly the standings, he was one spot away from getting in. It was as far as the points go, I'm not really sure, but there was a distance between 10 and 11. Tiger was 11 and Webb Simpson was 10. So Webb Simpson got that last spot. So Tiger would, if he was going to go strictly by the standings, Tiger would be in.
Well, I mean, this is
choice.
the biggest decision the captain of a Ryder Cup has to make. Who's the Outlaws guys? I mean, we haven't seen Webb Simpson, but he's been playing very well, since he won his major a few years ago.
Yeah, he won a tournament this year. I forget. Oh, he won the Players.
Yeah, he did.
He won the Players. So that's obviously the biggest tournament besides the majors of the year, arguably. So he's definitely worthy of a spot. He's been in a Ryder Cup before. I definitely anticipate Tiger being in it. He's got so much experience in there. His experience pulls a lot of weight with the younger guys,
and he wants to be in there. He wants to be on this team. I mean,
yeah, for sure. And I think he will. It's a foregone conclusion. If healthy, cross your fingers. If healthy, you'll see him in. I think.
Well, he's healthy now, so I think we're good to go. But I think I like the U.S.'s chances in the Ryder Cup.
He's coming to Ridgewood soon, Tiger. I think in maybe late September, whenever that tournament is, Northern Trust. They're playing in Ridgewood.
That's the one they used to play up in Westchester,
yep.
I think, right?
Yeah.
The old Barclays kind of thing, I guess.
They changed the name of it. Now it's like Northern Trust. But he's coming to Ridgewood, so we want to get out and see Tiger. Anybody in the Jersey area, he's going to play in that tournament. So he's got a couple tournaments he's going to play in the near future. So that's good.
Looking good. So good. That covers golf for us, and let's move on. It's football season. I know you're psyched,
I waited so long. I waited so long for this. Need it. I enjoyed a lot of preseason football. Just because I missed it so much, I'll watch anything that's on. The Hall of Fame game, I'll watch it. Giants preseason, I'll watch it. Jets preseason, anybody who's on. I watched the Cardinals and the Chargers. I was watching a lot of games. I'm
not a big preseason guy, but this was kind of a special year for New York, right? You had Barkley, who looked real good on his first run, and you had Darnold, who looked really good. But preseason, these guys won't play much in the third and fourth week, which is understandable. But I got to think that the Jets they're gonna go with Darnold, even though they got some quality guys there.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense. They need to get people back in the stadium. And his first preseason game, he looked really good.
They should play him. They should
the Falcons,
just go with it.
The Falcons didn't look really good, so it looked like it was kind of easy. But all three of them. And look, if he falters, you got Bridgewater sitting behind him. I mean, McCow's kind of like the coach now, so I don't think he's going to get a lot of playing time unless both of them go down.
Yeah. I agree with you. I think Darnold should just go in. Just go with it for now. If you don't play Darnold, you got to play Bridgewater. At least he might have some trade value or something. If he comes in, plays well, go send him to another team that might need a quarterback. That's another route, and because you already have Darnold, who's ready. But I wouldn't mess around even with that. I would just put Darnold in. But yeah, I was captivated by all the quarterbacks coming in. Mayfield. Rosen, I watched. Josh Allen, I saw some highlights of him. Darnold, obviously. It was just good. It was just intriguing to me just to see all the rookies come in. Saquon, obviously. I don't know if we'll see him the rest of the preseason now because he tweaked his hamstring yesterday in practice.
Yeah, I think they're going to go easy on him. But
just sit him.
We talked about it before. I liked Rosen. If the Giants didn't take Barkley, I would have taken Rosen. So
yeah,
I still like him as the the best of the four that got drafted.
Yeah, he looked good too. I liked him. Mayfield looked phenomenal. I know the Giants' pass defense was terrible, but for him to come in his first start, and he looked great to me. I think so. I'm hoping for the Browns that they finally found a guy. They've had some problems.
I know. I'm not so sure though. I think they may start with Taylor.
Yeah,
they may start with Taylor and then wait till he falters because the Browns will falter. You know that they don't have a lot there.
Yeah, they're building, and Taylor's a good, solid starting quarterback. So you can't go wrong there. They'll win a few games this year, so that'll set him going in the right direction, and then maybe go to Mayfield.
Well, the first view of Mayfield, Baker, the touchdown maker, right?
Yeah.
I guess. Right? Oh.
Yeah. He looked great. He looked great, and I just don't think it'll be long before we see him. But I don't think it'll be right away.
And it's cool. It's kind of nice that you see Oliver, not Oliver Luck. Oliver was his father, Andrew Luck. He's healthy. He could have a good year. You got a new coach. You got everything going for them. So.
Yeah. I think. That's. I think the game is always better with Andrew Luck around because he's just when he's on his game, he's so good. He's so good. He picks people apart. It just was a shame to see the Colts neglect the fact that he needs to be protected, and he was just taking shot after shot after shot after shot, and it almost ruined his career.
I think they picked that up though. They put a couple guys on that line.
Well, they drafted that guard who's phenomenal. They're already fitting him for a Hall of Fame jacket. He hasn't even played yet.
I know that drives me crazy.
Yeah, but he'll be good for sure. He'll be good. So that's one step in the right direction. So now they just got to get 4 more guys like that. But
we got to get through this preseason because I hate the preseason. It's like a glorified practice.
I hate week 1. I love week 1 because I just miss football so much. So I'll watch whatever. Like I'll find myself turning on NFL Network watching the fourth quarter of whatever games. Steelers, Eagles. Like I can name like 3 players in the field maybe, and then, but then by week 3 and 4, let's just get it going. I'm ready for regular season. I'm ready for football Sunday. Watch all the games, to get settled in. But and
it looks good. The Giants, like I said, they're looking good. Pat Shurmur, I think, is a good pick for the coach. Seems like he knows what he's doing. He comes from good genes, so. We'll see it. The Redskins took a big hit. They had this kid, Geis, and he got hurt.
I hate to see that, man. I hate to see that in a meaningless game, a guy be done for the year, and it's happened so much. I hate it. And that guy was a strong runner. It was a strong runner, and that's going to be a huge. That's a huge blow to them because he was going to be their starting running back.
Yep.
So,
but it looks good. We're all excited about football, and we'll touch on it week after week. So let's stay with the football theme. So high school football, that's starting pretty soon too.
Yeah.
So
2 days are going full swing right now.
So I went to St. Joe's, what they call the green and gold scrimmage on Sunday. You ought to see the size of these guys, Dougie. I mean. I talked to a lot of guys, and we know, Bergen Catholic seems to have a lot of high-profile talent and so forth, but we're real optimistic because obviously St. Joe's, that's my alma mater, and
that's your
a couple of big
there.
guys. I mean, they had one guy, he was a freshman, 6'5", 275.
Oh,
a freshman.
God, what are they feeding those kids, man? I tell you, that kid's ready. He's gonna get offers he's gonna get letters from every school just by his measurables.
Well, look, I want to stay with that real quick because I told you, one of my ex-teammates, his son Luke, he's the left starting offensive tackle, big kid. I mean, and he committed to Ohio State. I don't know how the Urban Meyer situation is going to pan out, but a high school football. I don't know how you Sparta guys are doing, but this is the major leagues of high school football right here.
I mean, Sparta. I'm not gonna say Sparta can hang with St. Joe's because they probably can't. But as far as public schools go, Sparta can hang with any public school.
Is that right?
Yes,
right.
In the state. And now I'm going on record and say that. That's my alma mater. They can hang with any public school in the state. Now, if you go to
that's a bold statement. I'm going to hold you to it.
Yeah, well, watch them go undefeated this year. You'll see.
Okay.
And then, you're right.
St. Joe's opens down in Georgia, the first game. So they got a big test right out of the gate.
All right.
And
see that we're not traveling to Georgia or anything, but
I'm not going to Georgia either, but there's a big bandwagon of Joe's guys that are going down there. So
that'll be good. We'll keep tabs on them for sure. Yeah,
absolutely.
Alma maters, but I'm definitely into the high school football scene. 2 days in full swing. I mean, I don't know if they're really 2 days anymore, but close enough, I guess. Maybe 1.5 days.
And
But
I'm looking forward to something because they're actually doing this. This is a big year for my class, which was 100 years ago. But they're doing a little honoring the class of '77 through '81, and there's a lot of talent on there.
yeah,
So we can get some guys on our show from the teams. I'd love to talk to Luke about his experience, about what's going on with the Ohio State thing. So we got a lot of good things coming up from that perspective.
yeah, man. Football season we'll have all the guests on. We'll be in full swing, so we'll have all the coverage for sure.
And I wanted to touch base with you because I kind of mentioned the other day about minor league baseball and how these guys don't make much and so forth, right? So, which I didn't know, but I told you my nephew was a minor league ball player in the Orioles system, and what I didn't know. So I'm going to try to get Zach Britton on. Zach Britton was my nephew Brendan's roommate for the Bluefield Orioles in the minor leagues.
Well, Zach Britton's not really in my good graces right now. He's not pitching that well. But I mean, I'll talk to him about it. Maybe we can play sports psychologist, get him to throw strikes a little bit. But that would be great. That would be great. I'd love to talk to him. That guy is lights out, man. That guy was really lights out. Especially that 2016 season he had was one of the best seasons for a closer ever.
Right. So he's a player in the major. He's a major league player, and it's pretty cool. So I'll see if I can work that angle. We'll get him on the show. You know?
Definitely for sure. That guy, best sinker in the league. But let's go into baseball then while we're at it. So last we spoke, I was heading into Boston for the weekend to see.
Yeah, tell me about it. How was it? I mean, did you get beat up or what?
Well, almost actually. See if we could climb back into the division race. Didn't happen, obviously, as we know. The 4-game sweep with the embarrassing blown save in the 9th and the 4th game to at least salvage one game. Couldn't even do that. I went to Friday night's game. That was probably the most boring game of the 4, and it was a one hitter by Porcello. The only hit we had was a homer, and it was the fastest Red Sox Yankee game since like 1936.
Right,
so
but we know that we talked about this before. Boston is clearly the elite right there. We're not going to catch them. It's not going to happen.
10 games back now. They're not catching them. No chance.
So we can, like I said, we'll take the wild card, and I don't like the system. I think it should be at least 2 out of 3. I think the one and done is something, and we could bring that up with John Flaherty and so forth when we have him on our show next week.
Yeah, no, I mean that would, I want to talk to him about that for sure. But just the fact, just think about the old days when they didn't even have a wild card. We would be done already.
And how about last night? Listen, we know the Mets are kind of a double-A team right now, but this Jacob deGrom, this kid is a stud and a half.
Well, I can see why the Mets wanted Torres, Andujar, and more for him. So
right.
I can see that. So this guy, forget it, man. He's untouchable. The fact that we got 3 runs on him, I was actually surprised at that.
And it's kind of sad because the guy's, he's got the best ERA in the league. He's going up against guys like Scherzer and so forth, and they don't score runs for him. So he's only got 7 wins, or was last night 8 or what?
Just so you know, he has less wins than Sonny Gray.
Well, that's not fair.
That's not fair. And he should win the Cy Young. He should win it. I'm telling you, he should win it.
I think he's gonna win the Cy Young.
He should. Him or Scherzer. Scherzer's good too. But they should both win it. They should both be in the mix. And deGrom, 12. The Yankees aren't really hitting right now. No Judge, no Sanchez. They're not going to hit. But he whiffed 12 guys last night in 7 innings. And he just looked untouchable at times.
He actually is untouchable. And a few weeks ago I mentioned I thought the Dodgers were kind of a cakewalk and Kershaw pitched a great game, but they ate it. They ate him up in the 9th last night in relief. So that's kind of wide open. The Diamondbacks seem to come out of nowhere, and
the Diamondbacks on the Rockies too, and the Cubs. You can't count the Cubs out. That's not a cakewalk at all.
No, it's been good.
The Brewers are a good team. The NL is. You can't. I would really not pick a favorite in the NL, to be honest. I feel like it's just what made the chips fall where they may. Where in the AL, as much as I hate to say it, Boston's the favorite.
Oh, there's no question. It's either Boston or Houston in the American League, unless if, like I said, if the Yankees get bumped out of the wild card game and lose, then I think it's wide open. But
Yeah.
we saw them going head to head versus Boston. I don't see anybody beating them. This guy Martinez is having a year and a half. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
And just the fact that the Yankees are going to be they're probably the second best team in baseball, but they're going to be in the wild card game, and then when they win the wild card game, if they do, they have to go to Boston and face Chris Sale probably twice in the series.
Yep.
And probably both times in Boston. So I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do, to be honest. I don't.
Listen,
It's a tough road.
we're all pulling for the Yankees, but let's be realistic. I mean, Boston just seems
They're too good.
unstoppable right now.
They're too good. So you got to see, what happens. Obviously, a long time till then. Baseball's crazy. Things happen. Injuries, suspensions. You never know what. Maybe they go on a cold streak. Who knows? But that's pretty much what the road is going to be for the Yankees. And if they beat Boston, they'll have to beat Houston after that, probably. If
That's
not
right.
Houston and Cleveland.
I mean, I think
Cleveland's no
the
slap either.
National League is wide open. That could go any way. I think the American League is pretty much set. I mean, I don't see
Yeah.
I don't see Milwaukee. Well, they're in the National League now, but
Yeah.
I don't see any surprise teams coming out and beating Boston. I mean, I think the Yankees or Houston have the only chance, and I'm not even sure that's even a viable.
I would
chance.
give Cleveland a shot. I would give Cleveland a shot. Francona's, that guy can manage with anybody. I would give them a small chance, but I wouldn't bet on it.
No, I wouldn't bet on it either.
I wouldn't count them out. But I guess it looks like the other team is going to be the A's in the wild card game. So the Yankees will probably face the A's.
I know, but we've seen the A's before. They, like I said, they're penny pinching team, but they put out a good team every year, and they're always there. But
they always
they
find those
can't get
diamonds
over
in the
the
rough.
hump.
They find the diamond in the rough. That's how they kind of operate. And
Yeah.
no, they're on fire right now. So I wouldn't count them out. I would take that game very seriously.
Right,
They
but
could
what
beat-
the
they could beat
Oakland's thing is, they get these kids, and like you said, they find these gems that came out of nowhere, and then next year they don't want to pay them, so they trade them.
Yeah.
And that's why they're kind of a mediocre team, when it comes to that perspective. But it should be looking forward to it, coming down to the wire. Like 6 more weeks in the regular season.
Yeah, pretty much about
Yeah.
that. So I mean that's what we got to look forward to right now as Yankee fans.
So what else you got for us?
Not much. It's short. Obviously slow week, but we got the U.S. Open coming up now too for tennis. So I'm always into that. If
Yep.
you're a big tennis fan, I think we got by
I am.
2 weeks.
I am.
If you're a big tennis fan, you're in our area, tri-state area, get out there. I've always wanted to go. I'm probably going to finally do it this year and make a trip out. But I'm really excited for that.
That's as good as tennis gets. It's great.
Yeah.
It's great.
I'm really excited for that.
And we
the crowd,
talked about it. These guys are all at the top of their game now. Nadal and Federer, these guys are they're still in the mix. Djokovic and these young kids. And like I said, I think the women's side is a little bit more competitive because there's not a lot of big names. I'm not sure whether Serena's going to make it in or not, but yeah, that's on the schedule. That's coming up soon. That's Labor Day weekend usually, right?
Yeah, that'll be the final. So usually it's like the last week of August, first week of September.
Right.
So before we cut out, I want to give a shout out to the Staten Island Little League team. They're looking great. The Middle Island Mid Island team. Going to Williamsport. They look great. Great group of kids.
Get through a perfect game. Get through a perfect game to get them into that.
Yeah. So I mean, they look like they might be one of the favorites here. So they're definitely on their way. So I'll be glued to that. I think they play tonight. I want to say, or tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah, no, the College World, Little League World Series is actually very, very exciting.
I'm always paying attention. I like that because it's so unpredictable. It's not baseball.
The funniest thing about that though is there's always this kid who pitched the perfect game to get Staten Island in. He looked like he was 16. He was twice the size of everybody
Yeah.
else. So I hope
Massachusetts
we
had a
don't.
kid with a mustache.
Yeah, I hope they don't. Find out that this was like that kid 10 years ago that was
No,
17
no
pitching
Danny
for.
Almonte. No Danny Almontes, please. That was,
Right, Danny Almonte. That's who it was.
God.
Good memory.
God, yeah, no, I remember that vividly. I was watching every game of that. I remember that. But yeah, that was good to see those kids get in. I think it starts Thursday. I think Thursday was when they play. So pay attention to that. Watch them.
But listen, that's the U.S. side. Don't dismiss these kids from Japan and all these guys. These kids are studs. They
I don't pay
groomed
attention to
to play.
them. I don't pay attention to them until they're face to face with the U.S.
Yeah.
Whoever's U.S. and then I say, all right, we're facing Japan or Chinese Taipei or Mexico, whatever team it is. So,
Look, we're a little biased here, but let's not avoid the elephant in the room. These guys are studs over there.
oh yeah, please. They're feeding more just as many major leaguers as the U.S. is. If you look down a random lineup, it'll be 50% Latino.
Yep. Well,
If
that's the
not
way it
more.
is. That's the way it is.
If not more. So, no,
But
they're
listen,
very talented. They're very talented.
before we check out here, I want to again thank Don for his email, and we look forward to you guys, other people sending us emails. And I told you we're trying to get some good guests and stuff on the show, so stay with us, and we're really looking forward to you guys hanging with us. But put some comments on, and we'll bring you up on the show the following week and answer your question if you have one. And it's been good so far. We're having a good run here. We like it,
For sure.
And hopefully my nephew, who told me he's into these podcasts and things, he goes, I'm all on board, so make sure you guys put out a good show. I said, okay, we will.
No doubt. Definitely looking forward to, getting through. Football will probably be putting out some more content when football starts, kind of previewing the games, recapping the games, maybe, getting in towards the gambling aspect. Maybe we'll do some picks.
Yeah, and there's still some good horse racing still to come. We got the Travers coming up in a couple weeks, and I was kicking around going up to Saratoga and so forth. So we'll bring that up on next week's show as well.
Yeah, definitely. Everyone, I think anybody's in the mood for picks. So everyone's looking for the big winner. So for sure.
Well, let's get some of your buddies there, your sports fans, to start chiming in with some comments and emails too.
Man,
right?
wait till football season. I'll have some opinions for sure from them.
All right, good.
All right.
Sounds good, guys. Listen, thanks for checking in, and we'll have the show up tomorrow or whatever, or whenever we can get to it, and we look forward to next week. We're kicking around doing 2 times a week because I think our audience demands it, and we're looking forward to it.
For sure. All right. Talk to you guys next week.
All right, Dougie. Be good.